Hello everyone and welcome to this video presentation. In this presentation we have a work order in which we are requested to install Windows 8 on a new computer. So we'll be creating a new virtual machine, and on this virtual machine we will be installing Windows 8.1. This computer has to have the name of PC2-Win8. It has to have 1 gig of RAM, 20 gig of hard disk space. The username is admin, the password is password01 with capital P, and the time zone has to be set to Eastern Time, US and Canada. So let's open our Oracle VirtualBox Manager, and we will create a new virtual machine. We'll give it the name PC2-Win8. We make sure that it is on the right folder, which usually when we set it the first time, it should remain there. We are using a Microsoft Windows operating system and Windows version 8 64-bit. So we click on next. We select how much RAM we have here. So it's 1 GB of RAM. If you have more RAM on your host computer, you could increase that to increase maybe the installation performance of your computer. In my demonstration here, I will be using 4 GB, but in your case, you will be using 1 GB. If you have extra RAM on your host, you can increase it to speed up the installation. So I will click on next. Again, we create a virtual hard disk, and we will be using VDI as a default, which is the VirtualBox default. Always we will be using dynamically allocated, so it does not take space on our local storage of our host computer. And we set the size as requested here is 20 GB, so this I will make it 20 GB for the storage for the hard disk. We click on create. So after we set up the machine, we have to go to settings, make sure that everything we set is the right thing. So computer name, the operating system. Here we can uncheck the floppy disk drive. In the display, we'll put it 128 if it's not already there. Under the storage, I need to insert my Windows 8 optical disk in the optical drive here. So I will select the optical drive here, and on the right side I will click, choose a disk, browse my folder that I have downloaded the Windows 8.1 DVD, click on open, so it's inserted here. For the audio, I don't need the audio, so I will uncheck it, but you can keep it if you want to. The network, as I mentioned in previous exercises, that you can leave it on NAT or you can leave it on host only adapter, depending on what you want to do. We will leave it on NAT for now, which will connect this computer to the internet. The rest of the options, we don't need to change anything for the time being. So I'll click on OK, and I will start my virtual machine. I can minimize this Windows now. So my computer is starting up. It will find the optical disk of Windows 8 in the optical drive, so it will boot from the Windows 8 installation media. So on this first screen here, we will select the language, the time and currency format, and the keyboard input method. The default, because this is media, installation media is English United States, so the default setting is for English United States. We can keep that. We don't need to change anything. We click on next, and then we click on install now. So here we have to accept the license terms, and we click on next. And on this installation type, it's either we upgrade an older operating system or we install a brand new operating system. So in our case, we are not upgrading from Windows 7 or Windows Vista. We are installing a new copy of Windows 8. So we are going to use the custom install Windows Advanced. Again, when we come to this screen, this is the storage that's available. So there is one hard disk with 20 GB with unallocated space. So this is the one that we are going to use to install Windows. We click on next, and then the installation will start. It's copying the files and then installing the files. So after this section, it will restart for the first time. And when it restarts, I can eject my CD from here. I don't need it anymore. So it will not give me this message anymore. Press any key to boot from CD or DVD. So I just need to go here and click on remove disk. So now it's ejected. It won't give me this message again. So it's rebooting for the second time. So here we need to enter the PC name. So if we get back to our lab, the PC name is PC2-Win8. So this is what we need to type here. So PC2-Win8. Then we go next. We can use the express setting, or we can customize it. But if we customize it, we have to answer lots of questions. We can use the express setting. We are in a lab environment. In real life, you might go to the customize to select which option you want to enable or disable. So now we have to create an account. It is trying to create an account on Microsoft website, but that's not what we want. We don't want a Microsoft account. We want a local account. So we will create here, we click on the option create a local account. And now we have to create the account, which is the username admin, with the password, which is password 01 with capital P. We have to retype the password. And we have to put a hint. I will put PWD for password. When we install Windows, we cannot make a username with the name administrator, because administrator is a built-in account that is created by default during the installation, and it is disabled. So we cannot use administrator as username. That's why when we install Windows, we have to use a different name. So in our labs, we will be using admin. We click on finish. So starting with Windows 8, Microsoft introduced the Microsoft Store. So we can install or download and install apps from the Microsoft Store. So it just finished installing. So now we have completed most of the stuff that was requested here, like the computer name, the memory, the hard disk, the username, the password. We still have to change the time zone. So to double check the computer name, I can right click on the start menu here, click on system. So it will open the system page. On the system page, I will see the computer name here. If it's not the right computer name, I can click on change settings here, and then I can click on change, and I can change the computer here. This field here is just a description. Writing something in it does not change the computer name. The computer name, to change it, we have to click on the change here. So the computer name is set properly. Now I need to change the time zone. to Eastern Time, US and Canada. So I will right click on the time here, and I'll click on adjust date and time. And here I will change the time zone. In my case here, by default, it's Pacific Time, US and Canada. I need to click on that and click here to select the Eastern Time, US and Canada. And make sure that I set the time correctly, the date and time. If I need to change it, if the date and time are not set properly, I have to change the date and the time here. Press OK and press OK. So that concludes this video presentation, except for one last thing, that whenever we install a virtual machine, we need to install the VirtualBox Guest Edition. If I remember from a previous presentation, I cannot have a full screen here, and I cannot use advantage of the shared clipboard even if I click here to bidirectional or drag and drop. These two functions to work and to be able to make this screen with a higher resolution, I need to insert the guest edition CD image and install it on that virtual machine. So if I open my Windows Explorer here, I will see that my optical drive should be empty. Now, if I click on devices and insert guest edition CD image, it should install here, insert automatically the guest edition CD. This pop-up, I can double click on it or click on it. It will give me the options. So I need to run the VBox Editions application. I can close that window. And I have to accept this, and it will start the installation. So I click on next. I take all the defaults. I don't change anything. And at the end of the installation, it will ask me to reboot the computer for these changes to take effect, which I will do. So here I click on install. So now the default is reboot now. So I will click on finish. So it will reboot the virtual machine. So now I will log in. So I enter the password. So this is the first time it logs in. No, it's not true because it logged in the first time. I'm sorry about that. Because the first time it logs in, it creates the profile, the user profile, but we did already log in before. So as you see, it's not still taking the full screen. So I just need to resize this and maximize it again. Sometimes it takes a couple of times. Then now I have a full screen. And now if I need to use one of these options, shared clipboard or drag and drop, it should work. So that concludes this video presentation. See you on the next video presentation.